this point, I think we come to the end of a lot of interesting presentations. And that's always good. And it's entertaining, and we learn, and we go home. How would it be if we do something with what we heard here? And if we have some ideas of action, committing to do things together, or identifying things that we think are important to do. So the next half hour max, I would say, I would like to focus with you on what came up, having been here as potential actions. There were a couple of suggestions already, which all oh yeah, sorry for having to bore you. A couple of actions that came up. The beginning of today was very much about, okay, where do we find information? How do we know that it's trusted for operators, for governments? Anything that makes sense here? Anything you think, hey, maybe we should do more with that? Yuri made a very clear offer, like, yeah, I'd love to have people to work with in the region, and what you get in return is clearer and more targeted data for your country as well, for instance. So from the global statistic collection, there may be something in it for you that helps you to set your policies, to become aware of the vulnerabilities, etc. Another thing we talked about was for the standards. There's a website where you can check like how much have certain websites implemented certain standards, like DNSSEC, POS, RPPI, etc. There's a website, Internet.nl, who offers this in English and in Dutch, and it's in a West European, in the Dutch context. So this means that the statistics relate to the West European situation, not per se to a regional situation. That references to who to call if you want help refer to right-based places mostly, not to African support organizations. So that may be another thing that may be worthwhile picking up. Would there be interest for setting up something like that in the region here? That's another thought. And last but not least, capacity building. I've been impressed by what I've seen over the years in Africa and with Africans, because it seems to be such an eager region to pick up and to do things with it. Kevin was talking about secure IoT environments, building workshops on that. A workshop like some of you have been participating to from 9 o'clock this morning. Others came in later, but you're here because you're still not too tired or too distracted by other meetings, would it, for instance, make sense that after Dakar and here, do it again, and next year wherever African Internet Summit is? So these are some of the things I picked up during the day. Did I miss anything? Is there anything you would like to say about this? To contribute? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I was thinking about something. Maybe after around establishing the platform, if we could think about what kind of incentive we can come up with to encourage people to use good practice or deploy those different initiatives that we will come up with.
What kind of incentives would you think of?
It can just be, like for example, we're issuing maybe a letter or something to one of its stakeholders saying, okay, we recognize that you have deployed this thing that we are encouraging, and it can be something that LIO, whoever we target, show to the community and say, okay, I've been recognized for doing good practice or for implementing good practice.
Yeah. One of the things that, for instance, this website is doing is having a Hall of Fame or something. Yeah, some people are eager if they're scoring 80% of stuff to go to the Hall of Fame and work on that. That's true.
If you're in the business world, you drive customers.
So, but this is for drive customers indeed. No, good suggestion. And strengthening the idea of putting on platforms. Right? Anybody who says, well, I'll take one of these and I'll run with it, please.
I would like to know how travel initiative work with other working groups in GFCE. They give you topics to talk about during the workshops, or how do you work with other working groups in GFCE?
How do we work with?
With other working groups in GFCE. How do you work with them?
I'm so sorry, it's my
I think the question is how III works with other initiatives driven by the GFCE.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Somebody else asked what is GFCE, and some of you know because you're a member. But the Global Forum for Cyber Expertise is an initiative to which countries, international organizations, and a couple of big companies participate with the idea to enhance, to do capacity building, particularly in those countries that are rising up in the speed of use of technology. So technology transfer, supporting leapfrogging, best practice sharing, and that kind of. And there's a number of projects in that, and this is just one of the projects. It's focused on the usefulness of adopting open internet standards. In fact, I did have a talk last week with somebody who is in the CERT community, and those of you who go to FIRST will meet in Don Stickford in Edinburgh later this week. And he's involved in the CERT GFCE initiative, so we see how we can bring that together. GFCE itself is now seeking whether it should have a long-term impact and seeking to set itself up even further. And in October, I think they have in Addis Ababa Abeba conference to discuss how to progress best practice in that. So I can see that there things come together. So within GFCE, the secretariat is the kind of a common denominator that is aware of different initiatives and where that works and doesn't work, and tries to make those links. Probably can be done better, and it's up to the GFCE to improve that. For all clarity, I'm part of GFCE. I'm supporting this III initiative in particular.